So, as I make this video, we're going to speak on the enemy draining you out of life. And I'm going to get into a couple different things. Because this can happen to anybody at any time. The enemy, first and foremost, is something and some type of spirit that wants you to lose. I remember thinking back in the position I used to be in long ago. I was surrounded by people that I thought I was cool with. But they all turned out to be people that was the furthest thing away from what I actually thought. And they all turned out to be the enemy. And that's because I wasn't even fully being myself at that time. But as you keep going through life and you continue to grow as a person, you're going to find out a lot of things. And like I said, the enemy is something that wants to get you to lose. It wants to take away your power. You'll be presented with certain things that want to take away your power in life. Mostly it's through people. So if you get around people and you start to not feel like yourself, you're probably doing too much around those people. You might be doing too much for people and too little for yourself. And you start to forget about yourself because you're doing so much for everybody else, which is the enemy. And what happens when you do a lot for somebody else that invests nothing back into you? You lose. And you lose your fucking mind as well. So this could even happen like with a past ex-person or whatever. Somebody used to be with you, invested a lot into them. You got no return. You thought they were something that they weren't. Whatever. It happens. And they just turned out to be the enemy. You wasted your time. You wasted a lot. And this is something you have to be careful of, because all these things are robbing you out of life. All these things will get you to put so much time and attention onto them, which takes away from who you actually are and your purpose. Now, it wouldn't have been so bad if they were actually for you, but they're not for you at all, because they're not even here now, are they? They're off doing something else. Probably manipulating the fuck out of somebody else. Guy or girl. Past friend, past ex, past anybody. So you have to be careful of the enemy. It's all about being on track with your own life. Some people use each other to get to where they want to be. And some people use themselves to get themselves to where they want to be. If you get around the enemy, they will use you to get to where they want to be. That's what the enemy does. But if you have any brains at all, you will just come to realize that the best way in life is to use yourself. Find out who you are. You don't got to do things the dirty way. You're going to do things the right way, which is going to give you good karma. Because if you do people wrong every step of the way, you're in for a rude awakening. If you do things the right way, you stick to your guns, you stick to what you're good at, you do all the right things, you will be rewarded greatly. But when you're in the presence of the enemy, you're not going to feel like yourself. Your energy is going to be gone. You're not going to be able to think straight. You're not going to be able to do things like you normally could. Because they take something out of you. in the moment, you don't see it happening. You don't even feel anything happening until the enemy is gone, and then it's just you. And now you feel the effects because you felt a lot better not being around that person. These people sponge off your life. They sponge off your energy. You don't even feel it happening until you're gone. Like I said, it's like that codependent feeling. It's like being attached to that person. And you start to like live to the point where like you need that person to feel normal. Because that became your normal, was always being attached to that person. Which is the enemy. The enemy wants to latch on to you. You can't let this happen. You have to stay yourself. Have that non-attachment style. I don't like to be attached to people. I just don't. Any time in my life where I was ever like attached, it always ended bad. Always. I like to not give people my emotion. I like to not give people on a daily basis that I feel drained. I feel like these people just take from me and they literally got nothing. High energy people belong with high energy people because there's good energies feeding in the air. And when they're gone, you still feel good. But low energy people, you don't feel it happening. You're in their presence. They're taking so much from you. And you don't see it, you don't feel it. And then they're gone. And then you feel it. It's like they took something from you. They need to feed off of something, but they can't give nothing back to you, if that makes sense. And it's a very weird thing. It's a very weird thing. There's nothing wrong with being emotionally unavailable. You probably should be to most people in this world. That's the way I am. Some people don't like me because I don't give them enough my energy or emotion, or I don't look at every single person in the eye. I don't do that because I don't want to look you in the eye to begin with. Like I'm just trying to go buy a coffee or something like this, and I'm not even trying to be a dick. I'm literally trying to get what I need and to get out because I have so much more to do in the run of the day. I don't have time to look everybody in the eye and smile and do this and do that because I spend so much energy doing so much other things. It's not even about being a dick. When some people might think you're a dick, some people definitely think I'm a dick on a daily basis, but I can't help it. I don't feel 100% every single day because that's how hard I work. And you're not my family. I don't know who the fuck you are. You're not my friend. I don't know you. It's not that you might not be. It's not that you couldn't be. It's just I have other things going on. And some people get a quick judgment off you. Oh, this guy or this girl or whatever. They're just mean. They're this, they're that. When it's just not the case. When it might seem that way, but it's not the case. Like, and sure, sometimes you do have the energy to smile, look everybody in the eye and be that way, and sometimes you don't. And what I notice is at the times you don't, people don't like you when you don't really give them what they kind of want from you, which is your emotion. They want something to feed off of. They're at work or something like that, and they want to feed off of you being there and looking them in the eye and smiling and them possibly getting your number or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. But it's like, and I'm just using this as an example, and sometimes you just gotta get your shit and get the fuck out of there. Because that's how much energy you spend on a daily basis. I rarely feel 100%. Rarely. The only way that's possible is if my schedule just happens by fluke to get a little less busier and I get more time to rest, to recuperate and stuff like this. I'll slowly start to feel like I can regroup on all my energy. But it's rare when that happens, because that's how much I put in on a daily basis. It's hard for my energy meter to be at 100%. And maybe someday I will be able to get there and kind of maintain a higher energy all the time. I mean all the time. Sometimes my energy is high. But to maintain that all the time and to have high energy all the time, for me, the phase that I'm at, it's hard to maintain that. At some point I will be able to. Right now, not all the time. I get there sometimes. But not all the time. Because that's how much you got to put in. That's how much you got to sacrifice. That's how much you got to put in that work to get yourself to where you want to be. And some people just can't understand that type of sacrifice. Not everybody has that in them. They're always full of energy because they do just bare minimum, and then they're relaxing for the rest of the fucking day and goofing off, doing whatever. Like, you don't get it. You don't understand the sacrifice. You don't understand what it feels like to have low energy because you work that hard. But yet you still show up, you still do what you do, which is going to take your energy down even more, quite possibly. Or keep it around the same. When you're working really hard, when your energy is low, you're not going to get more energy. It's impossible. So these are all examples. The enemy, they want stuff from you that you just cannot give. They want to continue to bring you down, when that's not the direction you're headed in. And if you get tricked in a certain situation, the enemy will get you down. And you'll realize what the fuck happened. And you'll learn. If you're smart, you'll learn. I learned from a lot of things in the past, and I've already talked about most stuff. If you're new here, you got a lot of videos to catch up on. A lot of information. I have a lot of videos and I spoke on a lot of things. But yeah, this is this topic, and basically you just got to be careful out there, bro. You got to be careful out there in the world. Don't get in with the wrong people. Don't let the wrong people around you. Things can change very quick. Some people, you probably have more than most people, and people want from you, but you're not in position to even give to these people. Because it's like, you work so hard to get to where you want to be. You need other people like that as well. If anybody. You don't need no takers in your life. I already dealt with enough takers. I'm in a place where I can give, but I'm not going to give to people that just take. It's stupid. You give, people got to give back. That's how you keep the energy going. You help somebody, somebody helps you. And then there's the takers. Then there's the people that say certain things, yeah, I'm going to give to you and all this, and they never give to you at all. Never. You give so much to them in some way, shape, or form. They always tell you they're going to give something to you in return. You've done so much for me, I'm going to give to you this and that, that and this, and they never do. They are takers. They are only in position to take because they can't get anything going themselves. They can't gain any momentum themselves. So that's their motto. That's what they do. They're only in position to take. And the little things they do gain, it's gone. They gain a little bit, it's gone. It's like making a little bit of money off a check and it's gone. Making a little bit of money off a check and it's gone. That's what it's like with those people. And they will take the ever-living fucking life out of you if you let them around. They just bring no value. You have value. They have none. You can't get in with these people, bro. It's not going to work. It's only going to take you down. It's going to give them a lot of value. It's going to take you down. Valuable people belong with valuable people. It's just the way it is. Otherwise, value is going to get ruined. And I would consider these people, most of them, the enemy. Even if you don't have much, you should be still willing to give something. You should. And I know people who have bare minimum and they still give. They're in the right place. Mentally. They might not have it all. But they're in the right place mentally because they're still willing to give. They're still willing to invest. Because they know it's going to help them. They're not all about right now. They know it's going to help them long term. When people give to me, I initially always give back even more than they give to me. You invest into me, I invest even more into you. You get a greater return almost every single time. That's the way I am. How you do one thing is how you do everything. When I'm in the gym, let's say I gotta do 50 reps for a set of sit-ups. I do 51 or 52. I always just go over. Say I do an hour-long phone call, an hour-long session. Go over 15 minutes, go over 10 minutes, go over a whole half an hour sometimes. Because I always do more than expected. Because that's what I take out of myself. That's what I do. But what I don't do is I don't do these types of things for people that I know are just takers. I don't. You're the lowest of the low. You say things, you don't do them. You flake all the time. You say you're going to be somewhere at a specific time. You don't show up. You got tired. Oh, boo fucking who. Those are the people I just don't like. I don't like you. I can't relate to you. You're a taker. You're also entitled. You think the world owes you something. All this bullshit. The world is an opportunity and you got to find opportunity. And I'm about to make another video on that here very shortly. And it's going to be a good video. So stay tuned. Something good is about to come.